Hey everyone, welcome back to Gaming Safe Space. And today we're diving deep into the making of a Minecraft movie, the live-action adaptation of one of the biggest games ever. We're talking production hurdles, what the movie looked like before Jack Black came on board, and how this project finally came together after years in development. This is a wild story, so grab a snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. First off, let's set the stage. A Minecraft movie is hitting theaters on April 4th, 2025, and it's directed by Jared Hess, the guy behind Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. It stars Jason Momoa, Danielle Brooks, Emma Myers, Sebastian Eugene Hansen, and, of course, Jack Black as Steve, the expert crafter guiding a group of misfits through the overworld. The movie's about these four people: Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, Henry, Natalie, and Dawn, who get sucked into Minecraft's blocky world and have to figure out how to survive and get back home. It's got piglins, zombies, and a whole lot of crafting. But getting this movie made? That was an adventure all on its own. The idea for a Minecraft movie kicked off way back in February 2014. Marcus Persson, the creator of Minecraft, tweeted that Mojang was already talking with Warner Bros. About a film adaptation. This was just 3 years after Minecraft's official release in 2011, when the game was already blowing up with millions of players. Warner Bros. Teamed up with producers Roy Lee and Jill Messick, and things started moving. But here's the thing, Minecraft doesn't have a set story. It's a sandbox game where players make their own adventures. So, turning that into a movie, that's a challenge right from the start. Early on, the project had some big names attached. Sean Levy, who later directed Deadpool and Wolverine, was the first director on board. He was working with writers Kieran and Michelle Mulroney, who'd done Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. Their pitch was an adventure movie with a Goonies-like vibe. Think kids on a treasure hunt, but in Minecraft's world. It sounded promising, but by the end of 2014, Levy and the Mulroneys left due to creative differences with Mojang. The studio wanted to stay true to the game's open-ended spirit, and that vision didn't quite match up. Next up, in 2015, Warner Bros. Brought in Rob McElhenney. You know, the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He took over as director and started working on a new script with writer Jason Fuchs, who'd done Wonder Woman. McElhenney was super excited. He even tweeted about it in 2016, saying he was thrilled to bring Minecraft to the big screen. They set a release date for May 24th, 2019, and things seemed to be on track. But then in 2018, McElhenney and Fuchs left the project too. Scheduling conflicts were the official reason, but it's clear the movie was still struggling to find its footing. That 2019 release date, it got scrapped. At this point, the movie was in what we call development hell, stuck in limbo with no clear direction. In 2019, Peter Sollett, the director of Metal Lords, stepped in to try and get it moving again. He worked with writers Aaron and Adam Nee on a new version of the story. This one was about a teenage girl and her crew trying to save the overworld from the Ender Dragon. It was a more traditional narrative, which made sense for a movie, but it still didn't stick. By 2020, the pandemic hit, and Warner Bros. Pulled the movie from its release schedule entirely. It looked like the project might never happen. So, what was the movie before Jack Black joined? Well, up until early 2024, it was a revolving door of ideas and talent. There was no set cast announced beyond some early rumors, and the story kept changing. The Sean Levy version was a kid-focused adventure. The McElhenney take was a mystery. We don't have many details, but it was likely something quirky given his style. The Sollett version had that Ender Dragon plot. None of these got far enough to start filming, and Jack Black wasn't part of any of them. The movie was a blank slate, waiting for the right team to crack it. Things finally turned around in 2022 when Jared Hess signed on as director. He brought in writers Chris Bowman and Hubble Palmer, who'd worked with him on Masterminds. This time, the script stuck. It's the one we're getting now. 4 misfits pulled into the overworld, no Ender Dragon required. Production kicked off in Auckland, New Zealand, but not without more hiccups. In June 2023, they planned to start filming on August 7th, but the SAG-AFTRA strike hit in July, delaying everything. The strike ended in November 2023, and filming was rescheduled for late December. By mid-January 2024, cameras were rolling, and they wrapped up in mid-April 2024. Now, let's talk production problems. Beyond the director and writer shakeups, the strike was a big one. It pushed back an already long-delayed project, and the crew had to scramble to get back on track. Filming in New Zealand also meant building massive sets to recreate Minecraft's blocky world. Production designer Grant Major and cinematographer Enrique Chediak worked with Mojang to get the look right. Think cubic sheep and pixelated landscapes. They even brought in Minecraft YouTubers like Dan TDM and LD Shadow Lady for advice. It was a huge effort, and any misstep could have derailed it again. Then there's the live-action choice. Fans have been vocal about wanting an animated movie instead, since Minecraft's aesthetic screams animation. The first teaser trailer dropped in September 2024, and reactions were mixed. Some loved the colorful visuals, others hated the CGI live-action blend. That's not a production problem per se, but it's a risk Warner Bros. Had to wrestle with. They went with practical sets and heavy visual effects from companies like Sony Pictures Imageworks and Weta FX, trying to balance the game's look with a real-world feel. Okay, so when did Jack Black come into the picture? He joined in January 2024, right as filming was starting. He posted on Instagram teasing his role as Steve, and it was a big moment. Before that, the cast was shaping up with Jason Momoa, announced in 2022, and Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers, added in late 2023. Jack Black was a late addition, but he brought a ton of energy. Torfi Franz Olafsson from Mojang said they set up a Minecraft server for the cast, and Jack logged over 100 hours playing. He got obsessed with Lapis Lazuli. Apparently, he just loved saying it. Interestingly, Jack wasn't always set to play Steve. Olafsson told Variety that late in development, Jack's character was a talking pig. They switched it to Steve because they needed an expert guide for the story. That's a fun tidbit. Imagine Jack Black as a chatty pig instead. He ended up going full method as Steve, building crazy stuff in-game and bringing that wild energy to set. Director Jared Hess had to tone him down from an 11 to a 9 in editing, which tells you how hyped he was. So, what's the takeaway? A Minecraft movie took over a decade to make because it kept hitting roadblocks: creative clashes, director changes, a global pandemic, and a strike. Before Jack Black, it was a project without a clear identity, bouncing between ideas. His arrival, along with Hess and the final cast, gave it the push it needed. Whether it'll live up to the game's legacy, we'll see on April 4th, 2025. But one thing's for sure, this movie's journey was as chaotic as a night in the Nether. What do you think, Safe Spacers? Are you excited for Jack Black as Steve, or do you wish it was animated? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, and subscribe for more gaming goodness. Until next time, stay safe and keep gaming.